there's Leafly, you know what I mean, and all this other stuff. So here we are, and now we have this cultivar. Interestingly enough, the organic seed company that produces the seeds for it is supposedly located here in Colorado, which means they have fields of these things. And just to be clear, this Papaver Somniferum, the Lawrence grape, it's definitely producing alkaloids. Let me tell you. Okay. People will defend that online. I've seen on Reddit people even say something like, have said something like, if you were to do something like that, it's too runny. You know, like whatever's inside is like too runny and liquidy. It wouldn't work well, from what I've seen. It would work just fine for whatever you wanted to use it for. Mine, of course, are just for the aesthetics and the culinary purposes. Anybody who says otherwise is a liar. So, what I believe to be going on is I believe the whole thing was cover. A cover by a 3-letter agency. The reason I think this is because there is no official cultivar list for Papaver Somniferum. It's just sort of generally accepted, and each plant produces such a large amount of seeds that even within a particular cultivar, you're going to have better and worse cultivars. And, I ran into that with the pink Izmir. The pink Izmir will produce maybe, I don't know, somewhere in between 5 to 7 really decent bulbs. The Lawrence grape will produce 10 to 20, which is quite amazing. Now, think about it for a second. You're in the early 2000s. The world's Papaver Somniferum supply is being tapped into in a way that it's never been tapped into before. There's also an overpopulation problem that's happening. So everything is just compounded, right? Now, here in America, somebody probably realized, hey, wait a second, we have an actual serious problem here, which they've always sort of had an issue because they're already getting the poppy latex and the or whatever they're getting from these farmers. They're already getting them from other countries. You're talking planes just to pick this stuff up. It's expensive. So I think somebody in the United States government said, why don't we make our own? And instead of going through the whole process of breeding and dealing with your servicemen producing the Papaver Somniferum, what they instead did was they employed, or they got, however you want to put it, they got Lawrence Springer Ogden to cultivate this cultivar for the color. Now, you have to keep in mind that in Colorado, the Ogden name is a very prominent name. There's the Ogden Theater, there's Ogden Street. I'm not sure if I mentioned that already. So you have the wealthy backing, so you have then what appears to be a social campaign on the internet. The internet was just now coming about then. And this is one of the first social campaigns that I've actually ever seen online. So what you had was people, or supposed people, it could be all 3-letter agencies posing as people, because this is before people really fully understood the power of the anonymity on the internet and what you can accomplish if you're seeking to deceive people, right? So it could be just like, I don't know, it could be the same person. Actually, it could be one person. I mean, I know that's not the case, but it literally could be only like 5 or 10 people that went about instigating this social campaign. And the social campaign consisted of people just saying, hey, yeah, like there's this horticulturist and they have produced this new cultivar of bread seed poppy. And anytime it's talked about, it's bread seed poppy, because it's being produced for the seeds. But interestingly enough, most of the seeds from the Lawrence grape are put into seed packs for people to grow more Lawrence grape, which is kind of ironic, right? So anyways, and again, none of this is saying anything bad about Lawrence Springer Ogden, hyphenated last name. She's probably an amazing person. She probably also knows what's going on. But yeah, I think somewhere up in the mountains here in Colorado, there's fields of this stuff growing under, government eyes. Because I think that somebody a long time ago said, hey, man, we need to produce our own. But we can't just start growing Papaver Somniferum. We need somebody, socially to do it. Somebody in the community to where it just looks like no big deal. So they set out to make it look like no big deal. And it is no big deal, in my opinion. You should be allowed to grow this plant yourself. Again, doing a full spectrum extract using grain alcohol and little to no heat is illegal. And you should never do that. This show is not about doing anything illegal. Never do anything illegal. Blah, blah, blah. So anyways, that's about it, you guys. We're looking at overwatered plants today. Now, anytime we showed seedlings, little guys, those are all 2 to 4 weeks old. But that's about it. Let me know in the comments what you all think. Do your own research. Look online. You're just going to find social stuff on message boards and things like that. And then yada, yada, yada. All of a sudden, this company is producing the Lawrence Grape seed. So you can buy the seeds at any True Value store here in Colorado. And you can start growing your own, etc., etc. But yeah, to me, it just doesn't add up. In the middle of all this stuff, in the middle of the early 2000s, one of the best things you can think of to do is to cultivate a new cultivar of the Papaver Somniferum. Of all the things in the world, this is what you want to do. Let me tell you this, I would not have gotten away with it. If I tried to do that at that time, and I was in my early 20s, if I had said, where was I? I was in St. Simon's Island, Georgia. If I said to everybody in my life and the community, hey guys, I'm working on this new cultivar of bread seed poppy. It's the Papaver Somniferum. I'm using these Afghan seeds. They're going to be amazing. I mean, how long do you think it would be until something, I would be arrested within a short time. Okay. If I were to declare publicly that this is what I'm doing. So, that's where all the money and influence and whatnot comes in, because I believe I said this already. I've done a few different takes here, but if I didn't, and again, this is with respect to Lauren Springer Ogden, it doesn't look like she graduated from a university. She's not a master gardener, which is something you take classes for. She is an accomplished horticulturist, grower, which, with respect to her, that's awesome. I'd love to meet her one day and just get to ask her some, kind of trolling questions. Really, you want me to believe that, in the early 2000s, you wanted to produce a Papaver Somniferum, which grows amazing and does great. I mean, the plant does amazing. That's really kind of the headline here, quite frankly. I mean, it is the headline because that's what the show's about. The Papaver Somniferum Lawrence Grape cultivar grows fantastic. And out of the seeds, out of the plants you grow, you can then find one that is just a big jawbreaker size bulb producer and get the seeds from that, etc., etc., etc. Really nice, round, smooth, big bulbs. They're really amazing. And the petals, they look, the deep purples that these petals get are like no other deep purple that I've ever seen in a flower. They are just beautiful, absolutely beautiful. But anyways, that's about it, you guys. Happy growing, everybody. I hope you have a good time out there, and I hope you got something out of this. Please drop a comment and let me know what you think, but also do your own research first. Don't take my word for it. All right. Okay, you guys, happy growing.